What's up guys, welcome back to Tradingofftilt. I'm Ryan. In this video I'm going to be going over my daily update on Bitcoin. And to start with, I want to show you guys what we could be looking at on more of the macro to the medium term time frame. And my favorite count right now would actually be the running triangle. It's just starting to play out perfectly given the volume profile and given what we're seeing off these lows right here. So we'd start out with this wave A, which is a WXY. Then we come up for this wave B, which is a zigzag. Down for the wave C, A, B, C, zigzag. Now we could be coming up for this wave D, which is starting to look like it could also be a zigzag for this A, B, C. Now keep in mind, since we did get a WXY in the wave A, we have to get zigzags in the wave B, C, D, and E, because triangles only allow for one complex correction, and the rest of the subwaves have to be zigzags. So that would mean we have to expect an A, B, C up for this wave D, and another A, B, C zigzag down for this wave E. So like I mentioned at the beginning, given this volume profile, if this was the start of wave A, so if this was the top of primary wave 3 for ending diagonal for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then you guys can see down here at the volume profile, we're getting a very perfectly decreasing volume throughout the progression of this triangle, which is exactly what you want to see in a contracting triangle correction. So that's starting to play out pretty perfectly in my opinion. And then if we zoom into this wave B, we're getting a very strong reaction around this wave B. So it looks more likely to me at this point, I'm going to go into this a little bit later, but it looks more likely to me at this point that this is a 1, 2, 3, as opposed to this being an A, B, C. And then we're going to keep coming down here. Now, what we could be looking at for a target for this wave B, in my opinion, it would be around the golden pocket up here, which would actually align with this order block right here. Now, there's no hard rule for how high the wave D could come in a triangle. You know, it could look like this. The upper trend line could look like this. We could bounce around the 1-to-1 right here, which would actually be the more technical target for the wave C of a zigzag. So we could bounce right here for all we know, and that would be valid. But I think just going off experience and going off the strength of this level up here, if we do make our way up to this level, I think that would be a stronger level to bounce from. That would also be the 1.618 of the wave A. So comparing the length of the wave A to the bottom of the wave B, that would be 1.618 times the length of the wave A. So not really what you want to look for in a zigzag per se, but given the strength of this level up here, I think that would be a very strong level to get a rejection at coming out for this wave C. So like I mentioned, this is actually my preferred count on this time frame right here. It's just starting to make the most sense compared to all the other counts. So I am looking for a wave C to come up here above, beyond the end of this wave A. But without further ado, let's get into the local time frame, and I can show you guys what we're looking at on more of the intraday time frames. So let's go on the 15-minute chart. And I already kind of showed you guys, if we go to the hour chart, I already kind of showed you guys what we're looking at in this section right here off the lows. You know, what we could be looking at. Let's hide the triangle for now. I already kind of showed you guys what we could be looking at off these lows. I'll go through them really quickly. I don't want to kind of spend too much time on them in this video because I already went over them yesterday. But basically what we're looking at could be a ABC, where this is all an ABC up here to these highs. Not a big fan of this, like I mentioned, but it's not invalidated until we come above the end of this wave C. So this could still technically be a 1, 2, and this could be an ABC. That's still a possibility. We need to come above the highs of this wave C to invalidate this correction or invalidate this count. So it's still on the table, but I don't think it's that favorable right now. I'll go into why a little bit later, but that's one option we could be looking at. The second would be simply saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C. And now this would be putting in a wave A, most likely. This would be a wave B down here. And we're coming up for the wave C. So this could be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave 1 of the wave C, come down for the wave 2, 3, 4, 5, all of this wave C, which is going to end up here. So that's what we're looking at for the bullish counts. Now, there's two other bullish counts I could go through. So that would be this one right here. This would be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to put in this wave 1. This could also be wave A in the case that this is a zigzag for A, B, C all the way up here. So keep that in mind. So what we're looking at for this correction is actually putting this wave 5 here. This would be a WXY. And then we ended this correction down here, and we're going to be coming up for this wave C or wave 3. And then finally, what we're looking at is this one right here, where we're calling this a 1, 2. This would actually be a 3, 4 here. and a truncated wave 5 right here. I actually like this count probably the most out of all the bullish counts that I've shown you guys. So I mean, at this point, it doesn't really matter because we could say it's this one, or this one, and we still get the same result. However, just kind of going off what makes the most sense, all things considered. If you guys want to watch my previous videos, I could go into I go into more depth as to why I kind of favor this count the most, but I do favor this count the most out of all the counts I've shown you guys in this time frame right here. So those are the counts we're looking at on this time frame. You know, everything beyond the lows that we put in on the 24th of January. Now let's go into this price action right here, the more local price action. I can show you guys what we could be looking at, or at least what I'm looking at in this zone, in this area right here. So let's go on the 15-minute chart. And basically, as you guys know, if you watched my previous daily update, I'm looking for a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At least that's what I'm guessing, you know, was put in right here. So it would look a little bit like this, where this would be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ending in an ending diagonal for this wave 5. Then we came down for a wave A, for a zigzag for an A, B, C. And I was actually looking for a double zigzag where this would be the W wave here. This would all be an X wave, and this would all be actually A, B, C down here, because this section right here, you know, it looks a lot more corrective than impulsive, and it actually does not really make a nice diagonal. However, in retrospect, given that we got this impulse off, you know, off these lows right here to give us this wave 3, 4, 5, then we kind of have to force a diagonal into this move right here. I was going off probabilities, and this just did not really look like a diagonal nor an impulse. So the main takeaway here is that sometimes price just does things that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, and we kind of have to just roll with it because, like I mentioned, this really does not make a nice motive wave. You can't get a nice 5-wave move out of this move right here. So we kind of have to force in a diagonal, and given that we got a 3, 4, 5, this has to be a wave 1, 2 down here, most likely. So keep that in mind. So going off of this high right here, what we got is an A, B, C for a zigzag. This would all be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down here for this wave A. This would actually all be an expanded flat for this wave B for an A, B, C. This makes a lot of sense, except this wave B looks a little bit more impulsive. But for this wave A, we could get a nice A, B, C for this wave A. This would be A, B, C for this wave B, and a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for this wave C to complete this wave B. And then we come down for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to complete the wave C of the zigzag. And that would be completing a wave 2 down here. So this would all be sub-minuet. This would be a sub-minuet wave 1, 2. This would probably be a 3 up here, 4, coming down for the 4, up for the 5. So that would be sub-minuet. And what we're looking at off these lows is a 1, 2. This would be most likely a 3, 4. And this would be a wave 5 right here. Now, if this is simply a wave 1 and this is a wave 2, then this could be, let's see, this could be the first of the third wave. Assuming that this is a 1, 2, this could all be, if we put this wave 3 up here, a little bit higher, it's possible that this is a 1, 2, as so. And we may come down all the way here for this wave 2, because wave 2s tend to retrace quite a lot. You know, they tend to come down to the golden pocket quite often. So it could do something like this, come all the way down here. That could be a wave 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we put in this wave 3 up here. Then we come down for this wave 4. Then up to this wave 5. And this wave 5 might end up, you know, around that golden pocket that I showed you guys at the beginning of the video, around 56K. So that would make a lot of sense to me that this is all a wave 1 of this wave 3, given that this is a wave 1 right here. And keep in mind, just to give you guys context, this is all going to be part of the wave C of the zigzag. So that's what I'm looking at on this time frame. Now, I don't really have any clear price targets for how far we could come down for this wave 2, assuming that this is all a wave 1 being put in here, and we're coming down for wave 2, as so. What we could be looking at, technically going off Elliott waves, going to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree is a good place to be looking for a bottom for the wave 2 retracement. However, this wave 4 is pretty high up here, so that would actually only be bringing us down to, it wouldn't even be bringing us down to the 0.382. So my guess is that if we do come down for a wave 2 retracement, we're probably going to come back to at least the 0.5, which would be this order block right here. or even the golden pocket. Now the golden pocket, we don't have a lot of strong support around, at least now. So maybe this wave 5 comes a little bit higher. This could be, if we zoom in a little bit more, let's delete this brush. This could be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this wave 5 could come a little bit higher. However, I think the wave 5 is going to top out pretty soon, given that this looks more like a 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is more indicative of a wave 5, given that this looks more like a wave 4 right here. So given that, I think the wave 5 is going to top out pretty soon, and we could probably expect this to come down to the 0.5 or the 0.618. Now, like I mentioned, if we fall below the wave 4, so if we fall below this wick right here, we're probably just going to drop all the way down here to around the 0.5. You know, we could bounce around the 0.32, but it's not a very typical retracement for a wave 2 if this is a 1, 2. So I'm looking more for the 0.5 or the 0.618. Now, of course, as long as we don't take out this low right here, which would be the beginning of this impulse right here, it still is a valid wave 2. So keep that in mind. It doesn't mean if we come to the golden pocket, we can't come lower. Of course we can. We could always come down to the 0.886, which is going to be around here. But I think it's more likely 0.5 or 0.618 golden pocket. So that's basically what I'm looking at on the local time frame. There's not really a whole lot I wanted to go over in this video because we're just kind of impulsing out of here. So there's not a lot of complexity in impulse waves. You know, I think most people could probably agree this is a 1, 2. This is probably a 3, 4, and we're coming up for a 5, but we completed a 5. And the only really nuance that I'm giving to you guys is that I think this is probably going to be a wave 1 of this wave 3 right here. Now, it's possible that this is the wave 3 being completed right here. Maybe we come down for wave 4 right here. That's actually a pretty likely possibility. I just kind of wanted to show you guys both sides of the story, that this could be the wave 1 of the wave 3. However, this could also be the wave 3 being put in right here. It would make some decent sense. We could come down for the wave 4, then up for the wave 5. However, if we zoom out, that's not going to give us the target that we are looking for the top of the wave D of the running triangle. But it still is possible. This would probably bring us pretty close to the 0.5 retracement of the wave D. Rather, if we zoom out even more, just so I can kind of explain to you guys what we're looking at. If this is the wave B, this is the wave C down here, this could bring us up to the 0.5, which is also a possibility we could bounce around for the wave D. However, like I mentioned, I think it's more likely we're going to bounce around the 0.618 or the golden pocket. So that's about all I wanted to go over in this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video and in the Discord server. Take care. Bye.